for Andy.
Well, Andy Pettitte, as you can see, is ready. Marco Scutaro is ready. And let's do it here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. The veteran left-hander deals. Pitch is swung on and popped up to shallow right. Eric Hinske is tested immediately, and he will put it away for the first out. One pitch, one out. And Eric Hinske happy to be back in the lineup, or in the lineup for the first time. He's in right, Gardner's in center, and Cabrera over at left. In the infield, let's go the other way. A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, and Swisher. That's third to first. Posada behind the plate. And Andrew Eugene Petty, the veteran left-hander, is on the mound. Here's Aaron Hill. Blue Jays trying to avoid a sweep. And the pitch. There's a strike. And the count is 0-1. Made the All-Star team. The selection announced yesterday, his first one. And he got very good numbers in the first half of the year. The 0-1. Outside. Aaron Hill, usually the second baseman. Kind of a half day off today as the DH. John McDonald plays second today, the 1-1. Slow roller toward first. Nick Swisher's going to get a try. And there are 2 outs. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. You don't need the words. It's gorgeous right now. 79 degrees, 44% humidity, hardly any wind whatsoever. And it's just beautiful outside here in the Bronx. Look at the sky, not a cloud in the sky. Andy's ready. Vernon Wells is taking his time getting in the box, but you can see Andy feels good and wants to throw the ball. And the pitch. There's a strike. Can a pitcher feel it right away if he's got good stuff?
Well, he can, and you notice there where Andy Pettitte kind of stared off Posada for 2 or 3 signs to get to the pitch he wanted. That's a little uncharacteristic for Andy.
That one is looped into right field, coming on Hinske, and he makes the play. A nice debut in right field for Eric Hinske, his first game as a Yankee. Andy Pettitte with a 6-pitch, 1-2-3 inning, thanks to this play by Eric Hinske. Blue Jays nothing, Yankees coming to bat. First is Nick Swisher. Mark Teixeira will DH, a half day off for him. He'll bat third. Back in the lineup after a day off yesterday, third baseman Alex Rodriguez, 49 home runs in 166 games against Toronto. Jorge Posada will catch. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing second base, Robinson Cano. Melky Cabrera in left field will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing right, Eric Hinske. Brett Gardner in center is going to bat ninth.
And here's Toronto's young phenom, Ricky Romero. 11 starts on the year, 6-3 and a 2.85 ERA. 72 and 2/3 innings, only 66 hits, 24 and 61. Shut down. He has 20 straight scoreless innings coming into this game, and that's why the Yankees have a lefty-loaded lineup. He's tougher against righties because he has a great changeup. 223 average versus righties, 308 versus lefties. Former #1 pick. He was a Blue Jays first pick in 05, the 6th overall in the nation.
There's Derek Jeter against Romero. And the pitch outside, 1-0. Derek's still coughing, but you know what? It's not affecting his hitting. Made the All-Star game yesterday. He has an 11-game hitting streak. Hitting .391 during those 11 games. And in those 11 games, the Yankees have won 10 of them. So if he'd like to cough, I guess he's okay with coughing. Boy, our mics are really picking up everything.
We were high tech here at the S Network.
Foul away. Nice way to debut, huh, David? The way Hinske broke in the top of the first.
Well, first pitch of the game, he makes a play. This one a little tougher, obviously, but Eric Hinske, yeah, here's your debut. Welcome to the Bronx.
Well, you know, Girardi had to make a little bit of a decision when putting together this lineup, because Hinske and Swisher both played first and right, and he actually asked Hinske, what do you feel more comfortable with? He said, you know what, I'd rather play right. So it turns out that he was somewhat prophetic. Hinske's in right, and Swisher is at first, and Teixeira is the DH. The 2-2. Upstairs, 3-2.
Johnny Damon with a full day off today.
Dick Swisher will bat in Johnny Damon's number 2 hole. And the 3-2. Jeter checks the swing. Did he go? No, he did not, said John Hirschbeck. So Derek Jeter with a walk to lead off the first. Let's check out the Toronto defense behind Ricky Romero. In the outfield, you've got Bautista in left, Wells in center, and Rios in right. Infield, Rowan, Scudero, McDonald, and Millar. Millar making his 24th start at first. Barajas behind the plate, and Romero is on the mound. Well, Millar's a gritty ball player, but they lose a lot defensively because Lyle Overbay is a gold glove caliber first baseman, but a left-handed swinger, so he's out against the lefty Andy Pettit. And that pitch is low. You know, David told you that Ricky Romero was taken in the 2005 draft, and David, we were looking in the first round of the 2005 draft. I mean, unbelievable, the players that came out of that draft. The number 1 pick, Diamondbacks, Justin Upton. That guy's going to be a star. Royals, Alex Gordon. That was the 2nd pick. The 3rd pick, the Mariners, Jeff Clement, and he has not done what they expected at this point. The Nationals, Ryan Zimmerman. And then Ricky Romero was at 5. Now, J.P. Ricciardi, the longtime GM of the Blue Jays, was criticized a couple of years ago because Romero took a long time to get up here. And the player that was picked right after him was Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop of the Rockies, and it made the Blue Jays look bad because Tulowitzki pretty much led the Rockies to the World Series in their unlikely run. But the strange thing is Tulowitzki kind of fell off the face of the earth this year. And there's a balk. He tried to pick off Jeter, and Jeter will go to second. Home plate umpire Chad Fairchild called the ball.
Unusual for a home plate umpire to make this call on a left-handed pitcher. But this is Romero's quick little move. No leg kick. Just a little shuffle.
What do you think?
Well, very close. As I said, there's a 45-degree angle. As you see, he probably is right on the edge of that, but it's just unusual that ball call comes from the home plate umpire as opposed to the guys working the bases that have a little closer look.
The 2-0 to Swisher. Foul the other way. You wonder, is there a little Yankee Stadium nerves with Ricky Romero? He's 4-1, 1.91 in his last 6 starts, but here he is on a Monday afternoon, close to full house at Yankee Stadium. How does he react? Some pitchers and players embrace it. Others get unnerved by it. Jeter goes. Pitches high. Throw to third. He's out. That's a bad play by Jeter because there's no way that you get thrown out at third base to make the first out. Jeter saying that he was safe, and he's arguing with Marty Foster. You never see Jeter argue like that. And he knows that when you commit a mistake like that, getting thrown out at third base with the first out is just a cardinal sin. And so Joe Girardi's getting the lay of the land from Jeter and seeing what he's complaining about. And we'll go out and talk with Foster right now.
I almost see Jeter mouthing the words, "He didn't tag me," because the throw, as you see here, beats Jeter to the bag.
He's right.
And a little okey-doke slide from Jeter. Here comes my hand, take it away. Go in with the other one. And this is Jeter's complaint. Little trick slide. Pull it back, get it back in.
And now Girardi just got tossed. And Jeter was right, he was safe. Now, sometimes umpires just give you the out call if the throw beats you by a lot, and it certainly did.
See Jeter, no tag. Joe Girardi really protecting the captain of the Yankees right here. Girardi got out there in a hurry.
You can see Marty Foster did not like the finger in his face. Now there's a magic word that you can say to get thrown out. Joe Girardi doesn't say that word. He's just not that type. He doesn't have a foul mouth. I don't think the umpire liked the finger in the face. So Joe gets tossed. Ironically enough, this Yankee hot streak, David, coincided with Girardi getting tossed in Atlanta. And the Yankees have not looked back since then. They've lost one game since that last ejection.
You can almost see the frustration from Girardi there as he's conversing with Jeter. He's not happy about getting thrown out of the game. That one in Atlanta, he wanted to get thrown out. Here in the first inning against Toronto, he wasn't looking to get thrown out. He was trying to protect Jeter there.
Line drive, a base hit to left field. Now that looms larger, getting thrown out at third base. So Swisher with a single. That's Girardi's third ejection of the season and his 10th in his career. And now Tony Pena will take over the reins of this team. Mark Teixeira, the second selection to the All-Star team, and will start at first base for the American League a week from tomorrow in St. Louis. And the pitch. Now Teixeira's been playing good baseball, but he has not had a home run in 79 at bats, so the power bat has gone away. And he is at 20 home runs. He's been there for a while, about 20 games. And there's a strike. There was a point where Teixeira was just red hot. Everything he was hitting seemed to be flying out of the park, but he's been stuck at 20. He has 61 ribbies.
Teixeira particularly likes hitting at home. He's hitting .310 at Yankee Stadium this year with 13 home runs. And against left-handed pitchers, .351 and 74 at-bats.
Swinging on 3-0, trying to get him off that home run schneid. And it's popped into the seats, out of play. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. You know what? It was 2-2. The scoreboard was wrong, so I apologize. It was not a green light, so 2-2 was the count. And with the foul ball, it remains 2-2. Gets past Barajas. And Swisher advances to second on a wild pitch.
See, Barajas here is completely fooled. He's looking for a slider down and away. Ricky Romero throws an 85-mile-an-hour slider up and in. Barajas cannot react. Sometimes those are the toughest ones, Michael, especially on off-speed breaking pitches. And you're looking for it in one location, and it comes in faster and harder in a completely opposite location. A lot less room with the backstop so much closer here at the new Yankee Stadium as opposed to the old one.
20 fewer feet than the place across the street. So Romero having an eventful first inning. Runner at second, one out. And the 3-2. Lined into center field. Wells is right there. 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Alex Rodriguez. look at the last 10 games for Alex as his average creeps up to respectability. 406. 5 home runs and 15 ribbies in those 10 games. And the pitch high.
Well, we showed you Ricky Romero's numbers coming into the game. 6-3 at a 2.85 ERA. He really got off to a hot start. 2-0 in April and May. April and March. Had a start in March. 1.71 ERA. Really struggled in May. He was 0-2 with a 9.64 ERA, and he's gotten it going in June and July. June he was 3-1, a 2.36 ERA, and so far in July he had a shutout. 1-0 so far in July. So a little blip on the screen in May, but really coming on now. As we said, 20 scoreless innings entering this game.
Now teams struggle with him early. First pass through the order, they hit 209 against him. Second pass 225. After that it goes up to 314. There are those numbers. Yankees trying to get on the board, as David mentioned. First time in 20 innings that anybody would against Romero. And that got A-Rod, got him flush. So he's going to take first. Awkwardly tried to get out of the way. He waves off the trainer, says he's fine. Gene Monahan wants to run along with him.
It looks like a slider that one-hops A-Rod in the kneecap. Down and in, slider bouncing off the dirt, right off the right kneecap. See Barajas setting up down in. It's a back leg slider. It ends up a back kneecap slider off the hop.
Impressive move by A-Rod, who has a football background. He gave the Heisman to Gene Monahan. He just stiff-armed him out of the way. Longtime Yankee trainer. A-Rod used to play quarterback in high school. And here is the Heisman. I think he does it beautifully, just like the statue. Watch. There we go. Out. And Gino makes a right-hand turn. Gene Monahan's been the Yankee trainer since 1973. It's unbelievable. Incredible run. And he was in the organization before that in the minor leagues. So, talk about born and bred Yankees. That's Gene Monahan. Great guy.
He's got some stories, Michael.
And he won't tell them. He'll retire those stories.
Yet to throw a first pitch strike to any of the Yankees hitters so far. Posada obviously being the 5th hitter in this inning.
Well, he's thrown a lot of pitches. This will be his 25th pitch of the inning. So they're making the youngster work. 1-1. There's a strike. Not a great ratio. More balls than strikes. Brad Arnsberg came out and talked with him for a while.
Really solid in this spot, though. With 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year, opposing hitters are only hitting a 0.77, or .077 rather. 2 for 26.
Count 2-2. Swisher's on second. Rodriguez is on first. 2 men out. 2-2 count on Posada. Just underway at the stadium on the bottom of the first inning. A beautiful Monday afternoon, a rare Monday afternoon game here at Yankee Stadium. Yankees have played 4 straight day games against the Blue Jays. Strike 3. Posada down looking. And he dialed it up with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball right on the inside corner. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 1. There's no score on yes. selections are having the best season. The choices are 1, A.J. Burnett, 2, Robinson Cano, 3, Johnny Damon, and 4, CC Sabathia. You can text us at 58772. Text us the vote, and standard text messaging rates apply. Now, we mentioned that Girardi thrown out for the 3rd time this year, and the 2nd time arguing a call that Jeter was arguing. So he always feels that if Jeter's going to argue, Jeter usually doesn't argue unless he's right. So he comes out and takes up the argument to keep Jeter from getting thrown out, and then he gets thrown out. The other time was against the Red Sox, and the Yankees responded by hitting 2 home runs. Very odd, David. This homestand has been very successful for the Yankees, but 2 rare base running mistakes by Jeter, getting double off on an average line drive that was caught by Scudero, and that play, stealing 3rd with nobody out. I know he was safe because of the swing move, but you just can't make that maneuver because the old adage in baseball, you don't make the 1st out at 3rd and you don't make the 3rd out. You can only make the 2nd out at 3rd.
Yeah, you really have to be sure you're going to be there, and that ball beat Derek by a long way. Even though he did make an interesting slide, he did not get the call.
1-2. And to explain to our younger listeners, you don't make the 1st out at 3rd because you could get there on an out and then still score on an out. You can make the 2nd out because you're gaining an advantage. You can take that chance with 1 out because then you can score from 3rd on it. There's a ground ball at 3rd by Rowland. And there's 1 away. And you can't make the 3rd out at 3rd because you're not gaining an advantage getting to 3rd with 2 outs because you can't score on an out. It's all percentages on what are you gaining by taking that chance. And Jeter wasn't gaining anything because Swisher could have moved him to 3rd on an out.
You got a young pitcher, rookie on the mound at Yankee Stadium. Derek Jeter kind of guessing, trying to take advantage of something. Romero's pretty quick to plate, and he's got a quick fastball, and Barajas throws well. So Derek guessing wrong. You got to be sure. You're right, Michael.
Count 2-0. So Romero has a rocky first, but no runs, and that's what counts. Yankees did get his pitch count up, though, and that's important for them. There's a strike. The 2-1. 3-1.
Andy falling behind here is throwing 15 straight fastballs to start off the game. Now here, obviously, in the 2nd inning.
Lined into center field. Brett Gardner is there. And 5-string retired by Andy Pettitte.
You know, Michael, I think Andy realizes at this point in his career that in order for him to get deep into the games, he's going to have to be exceptionally economical. You know, the days of him grinding out, throwing 93, 94 miles an hour and getting strikeouts, even though he's not a prototypical strikeout guy, he's gotten his share. But his mindset is completely different at this point in the career. As we see tonight, noted, yet to throw anything but a fastball so far.
Count 1-0. Millar, 17 for his last 69, so he is really struggling. That's in the 170s. You bring him aboard, he's a clubhouse guy, keeps people loose, energetic. That's what he did with the Red Sox. Blue Jays took a shot with him this year. He has decent numbers against Pettitte. And Millar walks. Tony Pena taking over as manager for Joe Girardi, who was thrown out in the 1st inning.
Remember Millar as a member of the Boston Red Sox, Michael, kind of coining that phrase, cowboy up. A great sign at Yankee Stadium during that postseason was cowboy down. Quite a character, Kevin Millar.
He was also one of these self-proclaimed idiots. He and Johnny Damon. Pitch outside.
The best sign I saw at Yankee Stadium during the postseason was in '96, Michael. And, we were ready to beat the Atlanta Braves, and up in the right field upper deck was a sign, y'all go home now.
I like the one in 2001, TOR AT Mystique appearing nightly.
That was a good one.
That was a great one. Referring to Kurt Schilling's comment about it's not much TOR AT Mystique here. The 1-2. Just missed in the count 2-2.
Posada setting up away, just down. See the glove move? Good location, just missed low.
Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. So Bautista picks up the first hit against Pettit. And the Blue Jays have runners on first and second with 2 outs. Andy wants a new baseball, gets it. Why does the pitcher throw out a baseball? What could be so wrong? Does it just have a different feel? Does it feel heavier, lighter? Does it not feel right?
Yeah, you know, every baseball is different in terms of the feel of the seams on the ball. I mean, they are hand sewn, so at least they used to be. There was a bigger variance back 10, 15 years ago. I think there's more uniformity to the manufacturing of baseballs, but yes, they do feel different.
Driven down the right field line, fair ball, it's trouble. It is a fair ball off the wall. Millar scores. Bautista will move to third. It's an RBI single for Barajas, and the Blue Jays lead 1-0.
Well, Barajas can swing the bat a little bit, coming in with 8 home runs. A first pitch breaking ball by Andy. And Barajas just drills it the other way. The only question is fair or foul or gone. Right off the line. Just to the right of the 314 sign. You see Andy leaning, talking. Better back up.
How close was that? Right off the yellow. Wow, that was right on the edge of the yellow. There's a strike to John McDonald. John making only his 4th start of the year. He used to be the starting shortstop here with the Jays, but Scudero has taken that job away. So his 27th game, only his 4th start. Grounded up the middle, and Cano will take it himself, and that'll do it. So all with 2 outs, Andy Pettit allows a run on 2 hits and 2 men left. Let's go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 the Jays. dealers on the web at searchmercedes.com. 7 years ago, Reggie got a plaque in Monument Park. Mr. October. He was with the Yankees for 5 years, from 77 to 81. Appeared in 3 World Series, won 2 of them. And certainly he was the dominant player in his era in postseason baseball. So we go to the bottom of the second inning. It is 1-0 Blue Jays.
Wasn't it Reggie that asked for a Rolls Royce as part of his first contract, and George Steinbrenner gave him that little perk?
I believe it was Reggie.
Reggie told George Steinbrenner he always wanted a Rolls Royce. That sealed the deal for Reggie to come to the Yankees.
I know George Steinbrenner is listening. I always wanted a Rolls Royce too. Pitches high to Robinson Cano, 1-0.
You're already signed. You're a free agent.
And I can't win games. I really didn't always want a Rolls Royce. No, more or less a Maybach, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, those are nice. Fouled away. Cano against the left-hander bats 6th. Against righties, he's usually the protection for A-Rod. Cano 8 for 21 on this homestand. But he has really struggled with runners in scoring position. Almost got a throw back to the mound in his face by Barajas. You'll see it carries him across the plate. And the 2-2. Swings and misses. 1 away. Join us Wednesday night on Yes as the Yankees are in Minnesota to play the Twins. Coverage will start at 7 with batting practice today, presented by Audi. And then the pregame is the Yankees and the Twins. It all starts Wednesday night at 7. Only on Yes. Tomorrow night's game from Minnesota will be on My 9. And our coverage will start at 7 for that. Ken Singleton and David Cohn doing the honors out in Minneapolis. And unless these two teams make the playoffs, that'll be the last time the Yankees ever play the Metrodome. Next year, the Twins will move into an open-air ballpark in downtown Minneapolis.
Well, opposing teams in the American League will be happy to hear that. A notorious home field advantage for the Twins. Hard to see fly balls in that ceiling.
Well, they're going to have a different type of home field advantage in April when it's about 20 degrees outside. But Bud Grant used to make the most of it when he was coach of the Vikings. He didn't have his team play with heaters or anything like that. He said, you just overcome the cold. And that place will always hold, I'm sure, some place in your heart, David, because that's where you made your first Yankee start.
Yes, indeed. And quite a debut.
2-2. Grounded slowly toward third. Rolling Fields. Fires to first. Got him. Boys, he's some third baseman. He's a big guy, but he's very nimble and makes plays like this very well.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got 7 gold gloves in his career for a reason. He's made that particular play, even though this one's easier than some of the ones that we've seen him before. He's got time to go to the glove as opposed to bare hand. Scott Brosius was very good. Yankee fans will remember. Scott Rowland, the best I've ever seen, and coming in on balls and making plays like that.
Here's Eric Hinske, his first at bat as a Yankee. And he does it against his former team, the Toronto Blue Jays. Hinske won the Rookie of the Year with the Blue Jays in 2002. And now he becomes only the 5th player to play for 4 of the 5 teams in the American League East. Juan Beniquez, Jose Canseco, Kevin Cash, and David Wells, the other 4. The 0-2. Outside 1-2. Quick scouting report on him. He's got power. If you don't pay attention to him on base, he will steal a bag. He's got surprising speed. I'm not saying he's a blazer, but he can steal a bag. He can play third, he can play first, he can play the corner outfield positions, and obviously DH. High fly ball. Right center field. Wells back. And he'll put it away for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. So the newest Yankee goes down on a fly ball to Wells. We go to the third. It's 1-0 Toronto. We go to the third inning. It's 1-0 Blue Jays as Toronto tries to salvage the final game of this 4-game set. Marco Scutaro will start it off. One pitch in the first inning. He had a fly ball right. And that one gets past Posada. The Modell scoreboard. It's 1-0 Toronto. And Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. And a strike. Count 1-1. Like Scooter was trying to start a fire there. David, were you on the Boy Scouts?
I got kicked out.
Did you really?
Within about a week.
No surprise to this reporter.
Didn't fit in.
The 2-1 is outside, 3-1.
Didn't like those uniforms either.
Yeah, they weren't pinstripe. 3-1. There's a strike. 3-2. Scutaro with a 4-game hitting streak, 6 for 19 during the streak. And Scutaro works a walk. Tomorrow's starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios. Over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. CC Sabathia will get the start for the Yankees, coming off a shaky start against Seattle. 7-5, 3.85. Scott Baker for the Twins, 6-6, 4.99. I said it was a 7 o'clock start tomorrow. I apologize. 8 o'clock. Time difference in Minneapolis. So an 8 o'clock start on my 9. Now Thursday, there's a spot open for the Yankee starter because of the injury to Chin-Ming Wang. Joe Girardi talked more about it today. He said Aceves is in the mix. He said, but I have to see how these games play out if we need him. He said he threw 45 pitches yesterday, the most you could expect from him. There's a ground ball to Jeter. There's one. On the first, not in time. So Aaron Hill just misses hitting into a double play. Anyway, he said the most that you could expect from a Cevis is 60 to 65 pitches if he did start.
See, off the end of the bat, a broken bat, ground ball to Jeter. Just not enough time to get it to Cano. You watch here, the bat just comes apart. And Hill's out of the box, and he runs pretty well. Jeter gets it to Cano in good time. No real breakup on the slide. Just not enough time to get it turned.
Continuing on the Thursday starter, there's a Cevis who obviously will have the day off today after pitching 4 innings yesterday. Could be a Cevis, or they could go down into the minor leagues. Sergio Mitre is certainly a possibility, but they have to get him on the 40-man before they bring him up to the 25, and you risk losing a player then. Pitches inside to Vernon Wells. We know one thing, it's not going to be Phil Hughes. That Girardi has made clear, but they're still discussing matters. But Aceves looked so good yesterday against a pretty good offensive team. Just shut him down completely. That one's grounded left side. Fielded by Jeter. The jump pass to second, not in time. Hill beat it out, so a base hit for Vernon Wells. Very close play at second. Let's take a look, see how close it was.
Jeter with his patented jump and throw, and I tell you what, that's hard to tell from that angle, but Aaron Hill runs better than advertised. He got down the line on the last play.
I think he was out.
And he was
out.
Out on this play.
Right there, he's clearly out. So 2 blown calls by the umpires. And let's take a look at the Coors Light freeze cam as we freeze it and show that he was indeed out. Pitches outside to Scott Rowland. Well, the first ump that stole something away from Jeter is Marty Foster. He's on the left. And then the second base umpire, Wally Bell, who took away an assist from Jeter just then, as the runner was indeed out.
2 veteran umpires, very good reputation, excellent umpires, but obviously, like players, they make mistakes too. And broadcasters.
That's true. Fastball upstairs, blew it right by him, 1-2.
That has always been the book on Scott Rowland. He's up the ladder. If you've got a good fastball and you can run it up the ladder. He's had trouble getting to that pitch throughout his career. Conversely, down in the zone, usually gets a good swing of low pitches, especially fastballs.
One-two, popped up, and that'll make the seats out of play. Andy Pettitte coasted through the first inning on 6 pitches, got the first 2 outs in the second, then a walk, a single, and another single, got a run in. Now here in the third, he walked Scudero to start it off. A fielder's choice force at second, then a bad call at second, and there's runners on first and second with 1 out. The 1-2. He strikes him out. Big strikeout for Pettitte, getting Rowland to swing and miss.
Well, after coming inside on several pitches to Rowland, back the other way, outside corner, hits the glove. Watch Posada set up late. That is right on the black at the knees. Posada likes what he sees.
Here's Alex Rios. And a strike.
Andy Pettitte starting to mix it up a little better now. Still about 85% fastballs. A good first pitch change there to start off Rios.
Driven deep to left field. Going back Cabrera on the track at the wall. He leaps. And the ball is gone. A 3-run home run off the bat of Rios. And now the Blue Jays lead 4-0. And the fans are booing a Yankee fan that made a catch in the first row of seats when Melky was making the leap and thought he had a shot. We'll take a look and see if he did.
Coming back in, up and in. Rios just beats him to the spot. Not a bad pitch by Andy Pettitte as Melky jumps, and that ball's up and out. No chance and no argument from Melky. See Melky working his way back, timing the jump. That ball is just way too high. A little bit of a reach over by the fan, but no chance for Melky to get up and get to that fly ball. That's just a no chance. That ball's at least 5 to 10 feet above his glove at that point.
Grounded to Alex Rodriguez. And he retires Millar for the final out of the third. But 3 more runs on 2 hits. No errors, but 1 on the umpire. And the big blow was this drive off the bat of Rios. Nobody's left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. 4-0 Jays. Network Yankees game starting July 8th. Bronx Bomber fans are going to be able to watch live Yes Network Yankee games on their personal computers and laptops. If you're an Optimum Online and IOTV customer, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. Brett Gardner against Romero, and the pitch is inside 1-0. On the Modell scoreboard, 4-0 Jays. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. Nice breaking ball for a strike. Well, the Yankees have some catching up to do. They were down by 4 runs yesterday and made it back. Can they do it again today? That one is laced into left center field. It is going to be trouble. Oh, what a play by Bautista. He took away an extra base hit, probably a triple.
Boy, it would have been fun to see how far Brett Gardner would have run if that ball gets over that glove. Gardner, a slicing line drive, headed for the gap. Bautista, standing, running grab, lunging. Just enough glove to get it. And rob Brett Gardner of a sure triple, maybe more.
Here's Derek Jeter. And the pitch outside. Gardner's in a little bit of a slump right now. And when you're going poorly, those balls don't fall in. He's 0 for his last 15 after that catch by Bautista. The 1-0. That's right.
You can tell Jeter does not like that call as well. Quietly expressing his displeasure with that particular call. You can see there's a little John going back and forth. Keep your head down. You can say what you want. Almost anything you want.
Now I'm curious about this. I'm sure we could look this up. I don't ever recall Jeter being thrown out of the game.
I can't say that I remember either.
And I've never seen him in a real protracted argument. He says what he has to say and gets out. Grounded slowly toward third. Rolling. Got him. Well, we told you how good Roland is. He's putting on a show. Another close call involving Jeter. This one looked like they got it right.
The sure-handed Roland with a quick transfer and a little mustard on that throw. Look at him sweep that glove and all in one motion right to the throwing hand, and very close, but it looks like Millar got him.
Bang, bang. John Hirschbeck with the punch out. So Romero getting some help from his defense and the umps. Pitch is high to Swisher. Take one more look at this play. Wow. I guess he was out by the length of a spike.
Romero has been impressive, Michael, so far. We've seen him up to 94 miles an hour with his fastball. Very sneaky.
Popped up. And out of play.
He has settled down after the first inning. Caught a break with Jeter trying to steal third, as you mentioned, Michael. Probably would have given up a run in the first. 52 pitches, 27 strikes, 25 balls. Not a great ratio, but much better after that first inning. And he does have good stuff. Sneaky fast. Can run the ball up the ladder. Really good changeup and a good slider as well.
Hot shot past a lunging Roland. Wow, he came very close to making an unbelievable play. Swisher's going for two. The throw is not in time. A funky slide got him in there. A double for Swisher.
The Swisher turning on an inside fastball. Laces it down the line right here. He's going for two. He makes up his mind. You see this short, quick stroke. Beats Romero to the punch. Beats Roland's glove, too, on the little ricochet. And Swisher made up his mind. He's going right early. And another okey doke up and over. Now that's tricky. And no argument from John McDonald. Sweeps around the tag. Don't know if he maybe nipped him on the toe there, but
Pitch to Teixeira is inside. A quick punch out, but Romero realizes that a funky slide got him in.
don't see that every day. Swishers, I tell you what, you got to be an athlete to make that kind of move on the full fly.
Romero's not pitching your classic no-run game. He's thrown first pitch strikes to just 2 of the first 12 hitters. He's gotten into some jams in the first inning. First and second with 2 outs, got out of it, and here a couple of great defensive plays has helped him out. There's that changeup.
Romero coming into this game more of a ground ball style pitcher. When the ball's on the ground, American League hitters are hitting 189 off of him. When the ball's in the air, fly balls 293.
And he gets Teixeira for the final out of the third. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We played 3 eventful innings here at the stadium. It's 4-0 Toronto. We go to the 4th inning. It is 4-0 on Blue Jays. And the pitch to Bautista is a strike. Bottom third of the order against Andy Pettitte. Laced to left field. Cabrera is there. And he makes the play onto the warning track for the first out. Time for the New York State Smokers Quick Line Quiz. Jeter and Rivera have been selected to the All-Star game 8 times in the same season. Who were the last set of teammates to accomplish that? Now, Jeter's at short right now, and Rivera doesn't go out to the bullpen until about the 5th or 6th inning. He's in the clubhouse watching this, probably wondering what the answer is himself.
8 straight times, huh?
Not 8 straight.
Just 8 times overall.
8 times together, yeah.
To go back to the 70s Yankees.
And the tough part of that is keeping teammates together in this day and age. 50 pitches for Pettitte, 30 strikes. Here's Barajas. And a strike. Andy Pettitte's made 16 starts for the Yankees, and the team is 12-4 in those starts. Andy's 8-3. But the one statistical bugaboo for him has been pitching at home. Now the record isn't that bad, 4-2, but coming into the game a 5.37 ERA at home. On the road he's 4-1 with a 2.79. Now here's a big difference. On the road he's given up 2 home runs. Here at Yankee Stadium he's now given up 11. So he has to come to grips with the way this ballpark plays as well. Joe Girardi had a very interesting comment today during his pregame press conference. He says you have to manage the game a little bit differently. Fly ball, center field, Gardner back. still back. Makes the play on the warning track 2 ways. You get to manage the game a bit differently here at home than you do on the road. He said because at home you don't steal as many bases. You shouldn't steal bases because you don't want to get thrown out. You want to give you guys a chance to get the ball out. He said especially with left-handers at bat. He said I don't want to get my guys thrown out at the plate. He said you have to make sure. If you're going to run, you have to make sure. He said on the road you take more chances. And you know, they say historically managers manage differently in Wrigley Field when the ball or the wind is blowing in or the wind is blowing out. Here's John McDonald. Pitch outside.
No doubt about it, especially with the Yankee lineup and all the switch hitters, all the options they have, particularly Teixeira batting left-handed and Swisher. Throw Johnny Damon in that mix as well.
The 2-0. There's a strike.
That spot right there, Michael, has always been center stage in all of baseball. The mound at Yankee Stadium. Sabathia knows that now. A.J. Burnett knows that now. And if you want to find out how good you are as a pitcher and you're a free agent, that's the mound you want to be on. Certainly I was never on that particular mound. I was on the one across the street. But as Derek Jeter says, they're trying to bring the ghost over here to this new stadium. And CC Sabathia has found center stage.
Soft ground ball is short. Jeter is there. And he gets McDonald for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning here in the fourth. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Yankees are trailing 4-0 right here on Yes. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning on a beautiful Monday afternoon in New York. Close to a full house here at Yankee Stadium. And Alex Rodriguez leads off against Ricky Romero. Alex was hit by a pitch in the first inning. That one is lined to left field. It is going to dunk in for base hit. So Alex Rodriguez picks up a single. He is now 7 for his last 18. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Jeter and Rivera have been selected to the All-Star game 8 times in the same season. Now, who were the last set of teammates to accomplish that? The answer is Johnny Bench and Joe Morgan. Brand names.
I got the 70s part right. Wrong team, the Big Red Machine.
Busca uno, déjala por ahí en el defensivo porque está muy caliente.
Just got a text from a couple of fans watching the game in Florida, and they said they've been doing some research online, and that Derek Jeter has 0 ejections in his career. And umpires probably appreciate that. Has a say and moves on. The 0-2, strike 3, second time that Posada's been down looking, so he's not picking it up from Romero, that's for sure.
After a couple of sliders, once again, freezer right on the inside corner. No doubt about it. Posada right back to the dugout.
Yankee batting coach Kevin Long. Anytime you show up at the ballpark, at any point, he's working with somebody. Yankees have indoor batting cages right next to the dugout, and he's there working off a tee with somebody, soft toss. Seems like his job's never done. Gets one guy straightened out, another guy might go into a slump. That's the nature of that job. A-Rod bluffed, thought about going in the count 1-1.
Yeah, Kevin Long is baseball's version of a gym rat. In basketball, if you hung out in the gymnasium, you were a gym rat. There's the baseball's version of a gym rat. As you said, Michael, sometimes you wonder if he sleeps at the ballpark.
I guess he's a cage rat.
Cage rat. There you go.
Put him out to left center field. Giving chase Bautista. He's on the run. Still on the run. Back to the wall. And he makes a great catch. Alex Rodriguez retracing his steps. But it's a double play. Bautista has made 2 tremendous plays in left field and turned an extra base hit into a double play. So Cito Gaston pushes the right button today, putting Bautista in left. Bangs into the wall. And then A-Rod has to retrace his steps, but he can't get back in time. An inning-ending double. Thanks, Bob. As we go to the 5th inning, it's 4-0 Toronto. And The second pitch to Scudero is outside, 2-0. Lexus scoreboard 4-4-0, leading 0-3-0. So the Yankees not getting the breaks today. They've been playing great baseball, but really good defensive plays by the Blue Jays all around the field, and a couple of calls that went against them by umpires that replay showed they were incorrect calls. Have kind of submarined the Yankees just a bit. But what a play by Bautista to end the inning on the double play. Popped up. Nick Swisher calls off everybody and makes the play. Now, I spoke to Johnny Damon at length today, and we're seeing some of the things that he told me. He said playing left field here is difficult. He said when a left-handed batter hits a ball to left field, the ball should go this way. It should slice. He said instead what's happened is it goes like this, and then all of a sudden makes a turn that way. He said, so you'll always see me turning the wrong way. He said, now when a right-handed batter comes up, and we'll do it after the pitch to Aaron Hill is low. When a right-handed batter comes up, he said the ball looks like it's coming here and it should be a fly ball to me. He goes, but all of a sudden it'll just start twisting that way and Melky will make the play. He said, and it's a little bit of an advantage for us. He said, because we know that on every single ball that's what's going to happen. He said visiting players might not, which would translate into a home field advantage. And David, we saw that on that play by Bautista. He's thinking the ball's going to go toward the line, and all of a sudden he has to redirect toward the gap.
Really, on both plays Bautista's made today. Excellent. The ball seemed to get up and ride and keep going. Bautista on his horse twice today to make outstanding plays, robbing the Yankees.
And I think that the reason for that is also the reason that the ball is traveling so well to right field, is that there is a little bit of a wind current that blows from left to right, and I think that wind current is what caused Luis Castillo to drop that ball on that Friday night against the Mets, because the ball's being taken. And then you'll see on the Bautista play, he should be going the other way on this, the ball at the bat of a left-handed batter, but then it goes toward the gap rather than slice back to him. There's a high fly ball to left field. Gardner back, still back, and he makes a nice play. So a lot of leather and grace here in this ball game. Both teams flashing the leather.
There's another case in point, Michael, that you're referring to. This ball looks like it's going to be the left fielder's ball, and it just keeps riding out towards Death Valley. Brett Gardner, with that kind of speed, he knows that ball's riding, coming right more towards him than the left fielder, and gets there and makes a nice play.
And when we talk home field advantage, you know, a team comes here for 3 days, they're not going to pick that up right away. And if they don't pick it up in the first game, you know, you can win a game because of that. There's a strike. And there's Bautista, who just made that great play to end the bottom of the fourth. I think he's explaining that as well. Popped up. Robinson Cano makes the call and the catch, and that'll do it. So Andy Pettit, after the 3-run home run by Rios, has retired 7 in a row. The end of 4.5, we're halfway through. It's 4-0 Jays. On the Lexus scoreboard shows the Jays leading the Yankees 4-0. Be the bottom third of the order for the Yankees against Ricky Romero. Pitch is low, 1-0. Melky Cabrera grounded out to third. That was in the second inning. On this homestand, 4 for 19 for Melky. There's a strike. So what do you think of Romero so far?
Well, I like his arm action. I like the way the ball comes out of his hand. He's got nice mechanics, smooth, over the top with his full delivery.
Driven out toward right field. Rios toward the line. And he makes the play. Time for another look at today's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question, which of these Yankees who are not all-star selections is having the best season? You've been texting us at 58772. Here's how you vote it. You feel that Johnny Damon is just slightly better than Robinson Cano, and Burnett would be third and Sabathia fourth. Here's Eric Hinske. Does he remind you, just body-wise and his delivery, reminds me a little bit of Santana?
Johan Santana, yeah, a little bit in terms of his body type.
And the way it hands over the head like that.
Yeah, he's 6 feet tall, but he's thick, about 215, 220. Strong looking, but I like this delivery. Mike, old school over the top, looks down, picks up the target late, stays back, pitches against a firm front side. He's got good arm action, good life. You can see why he was the #1 draft. You know, scouts look at delivery, how the ball comes out of his hand, how consistent his stuff is.
The 2-1. Hinske whips one foul. Yankees like Hinske because he knows the lay of the land. He's played in the American League East. And also, the last 2 seasons he's been in the World Series. And there is something to be said for people that know how to win and that have been around winning situations. That one's driven deep to right field. That ball is off the screen. See ya! A home run, Hinske. Welcome to the Yankees with a Bronx Bomber blast. Yankees on the board. It's 4-1 Toronto.
He's had good swings all day. It's off of Romero, and that's a slider that stays on the inner half. And look at him drop that bat and just will it fair. He knew ball wasn't hooking too much. Catches the screen just to the left of the foul pole. Second home run for Hinske this year.
And one with the Pirates. And that's the first one Romero has given up since the second inning of his start against Washington on June 21st. Has a streak of 24 straight scoreless innings. Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit for Brett Gardner. And that snaps an 0 for 15 slide for the Yankee center fielder. So maybe now the Yankees will start getting some breaks. Certainly has not been the case over the first 4 innings.
Well, Michael, Hinske's got some pop. As you see, Jeter up there has had a rough day so far, especially with the umpiring, kind of questioning some calls. But Hinske's got 100. That's his 107th home run in his career, Michael. He's got some pop in his bat.
Here's Derek Jeter. Walked and grounded to third. A really nice play by Rowland. Now you wonder, Romero's a bit spooked after having a balk called on him in the first inning. He doesn't have, maybe he hasn't even shown it yet, but he has not shown a great move at all. And if that's his best move, Gardner's a good candidate to go. There's that changeup.
That is the equalizer for Romero right there. As we've noted, right-handed batters only 223 off of him this year, 42 for 188 with 6 home runs. It's because of that changeup.
That's kind of a snap throw to first. Millar didn't handle.
pressure that Gardner can put on you when he gets on first base. He changes the flow of the game. Everything slows down. It can become a big distraction for a starting pitcher.
Count 1-2.
In this situation, Romero wants to make Jeter pull the ball. Another good changeup. Knowing that Derek Jeter is so adept at going to right field with the hole open between first and second. Well-designed pitches, trying to get Jeter out in front to pull the ball or swing and miss.
Slow roller towards Scudero. Wow, Gardner really took out McDonald. And Jeter beats out the return throw. Kind of reminds me when McDonald took out Jeter when he was a member of the Cleveland Indians. And it looked like he hurt Jeter's knee on that play, but this time McDonald the recipient of a hard, clean slide.
Indeed, and Gardner gets down there in a hurry, as you can see. He almost pops up off the bag and then semi-half roll block into McDonald and flips him.
Grounded foul outside of third. If my memory serves me correctly, McDonald, when he took Jeter out, it was on July 4th, I think, here at the stadium. And McDonald was a member of the Indians then. In fact, our guys are so on top of it. Here's that play. And I remember McDonald was booed so much that day. And there was, concern on whether or not that was a serious injury for Jeter. Obviously, it was not. But ball players, any sport, wore the knees scary.
See, Jeter kind of got hung up trying to play first baseman on that throw from the catcher. Had to short hop it and backhand it. That's usually when middle infielders get hung out to dry, trying to make a play like that. Pitches so far. This will be number 84 coming up here in the bottom of the fifth. The Yankees would love to extend this inning and get his pitch count up. Got a definite idea of what he wants to throw, shaking off the veteran Barajas 3 times in that sequence.
2-2 outside. Saw Tony Pena there. He's in charge. Joe Girardi was ejected in the first inning when Derek Jeter tried to steal third, was called out by Marty Foster. And if you see the replay, it was a bad call. Jeter made a swim move and avoided the tag. Jeter complained. Girardi took up the argument and then got thrown out. 3-2, way outside. And there's that play in the first inning. Rob Thompson first keeps Jeter in. That finger there, that's what got Girardi tossed by Marty Foster. Well, the Yankees have to play through those mistakes and have to play through some great defensive plays by the Jays as well. Here's Teixeira, who has lined out to center and struck out. Well, you see Rowan is close to the line at third. They play him to pull, but not as drastically as they play him to pull from the left side. And he pulls the ball right to Roland, who steps on the bag, and that'll do it. So the Yankees threaten, and they finally get on the board. And it was the newest Yankee, Hinske, who went right down the right field line, hit the screen, and that's his welcome to the Yankee moment. We played 5-4-1 Jays. Scott Rowland leads off against Andy Pettitte. The first pitch is outside 1-0 as we start the 6th inning here in the Bronx. Rowland, 22-game hitting streak, but he's 0 for 2 today. Popped up. Posada near the screen. Oh, that's a run.
Rowland coming in 0 for 2 on the day right there. 22-game hitting streak online today.
We've been talking about Jeter today, and this stat was unearthed, which is kind of surprising. Jeter hit the home run yesterday. It was his 10th home run of the year. The Yankees now have 8 players in double-digit home runs. That makes them the first team in Major League history to have 8 players with double-digit homers this early in a season through the team's first 81 games. The old record was set by the 2004 Yankees, who reached it in their 86th game as Rowland walked. So some big-time power being flashed in this Yankee lineup. All-time team highs, or the American League team highs, I'm sorry, 125 by the Yankees and the Rangers 120. All these guys with double digits. These are the Bronx Bombers as Rowland worked that walk to start the 6th. There's a strike. The difference in this game is this gentleman at the plate who always seems to hurt the Yankees. That's Alex Rios. Hit a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. Wasn't a bad pitch, David. It was that he beat the pitch to the spot.
He did. You know, give Rios credit. He's been a Yankee killer. Kind of struggling this year. Starting to get it going again. Maybe just needed to see the Yankees. Pettitte started him off with a strike for a changeup down and away, and then came up and in with a cutter. Rios just beat him to the spot.
A lot of rumors floating around that Rios could be ending up in New York, but across the river at Citi Field, the Mets certainly need another bat. They need another outfielder, and he qualifies on both of those fronts.
See Posada setting up in, and he hit the glove, and it was up above the belt too. It's a really nice piece of hit by Rios, and Melky Cabrera would have needed a ladder to get up to catch that one.
Look what he's done against the Yankees this series. 6 for 15, a home run and 7 ribbies. Check swing, here we go. No, he did not, said John Hirschman.
Very close. If I'm on the mound, I kind of want this one, Michael. We'll get another look right here. If you're a hitter, you say no way. If you're a pitcher, you say I want it.
Got it. That one, he paints the outside corner, so Rios goes down on strikes.
One of the best pitches Andy's thrown all day. Just a razor blade backdoor cutter. Look at that late movement. See on the overhead cam, boy, starts off almost on the line on the outside batter's box and just shaves the black of the plate.
Pitch to Millar is low.
Kevin Millar still productive in 73 at-bats versus left-handed pitching this year. He's hitting .301. Although only 1 homer and 12 RBIs.
It's 4-1 Blue Jays, top of the 6th inning. The end of a 7-game homestand for the Yankees. In their first 6 games at 5-1. The only game they lost Thursday with Sabathia on the mound against the Mariners. They've won 10 of their last 11 games. There's a strike. They won the first 2 games, or the final 2 games against the Braves. Then all 3 games in Citi Field against the Mets. First 2 games against Seattle, then losing the final game. And the 10-1 makes up for the 4-9 on the previous 13 before this streak. Now the Yankees go on the road after this game. They have 3 games in Minnesota and then 3 games to finish off the first half of the season in Anaheim. And if you're the Yankees, it's the perfect way to make that trip. You have a stop in between, so this flight is not that long to the West Coast. High fly ball, center field. Gardner. Tagging is rolling, and he's going to go. Here's the throw. Rollins in there. Well, that was a scouting report tag. Because the one thing that Gardner does not possess is a great arm. So Roland read it off the bat, knew it wasn't going to be over his head, and just tagged and took 7.
Gardner drifting back, gets his weight behind it, gets the throw down, maybe a little too low. Jeter decides not to cut it. About a 4 or 5 hopper before it gets right to Cano.
Very close.
Boy, we've had some bang, bang close plays all day so far.
And also, just to continue about that trip, David, so you're out on the West Coast, and you're always a little tired when you come back east, and they have 4 days to acclimate themselves because they have the All-Star break then. So the perfect time for their first West Coast swing. Here's Jose Bautista. He's made his presence felt in this game with 2 fine catches in the outfield. Also had a single. Kept alive the second inning. And brought up Rod Barajas, and he singled off the wall and right.
Slicing off the bat of Brett Gardner, a reach and a grab at full speed. And this one's a little different sort. He had to cover a lot of ground. Two really sparkling plays by Bautista, who has bounced around a little bit. Broke in with the Orioles in 04, then the Royals, Pirates, and Rays. Back to the Pirates, and found his way to the Jays last year in 08.
Pitches for Pettit, 49 strikes.
Yep, it's getting up there.
It's not a great ratio either. It was 1-to-1. Bautista has not had great success so far this year with the runners in scoring position and 2 outs. That's the situation he's in right now. Just 1 hit and 17 bats. Bautista walks. And he's not in love with that call. So 2 walks in this inning. And he has 3 on the game. How about that, David? Would that make you happy? 133 million?
Would you keep working, Michael? What would you drop if you hit the lottery? Would you just keep your life the way it is?
No. I'd drop one of the jobs.
You drop one of the jobs,
yeah.
Huh?
And I will not tell you which one. But I would keep working. But I would have the ability to say no when people tell me to do things. Here's Rod Barajas. 1-0. Have you ever played the lottery?
No, at this point in my life, that'd be getting a little greedy. I think. I feel pretty lucky. You never hear me complain about money.
I guess everybody involved in the game that's doing okay is hit the lottery in their own way. Grounded back. So if you picked up like a lotto ticket on the floor and it was the winner for 133 million, you wouldn't even collect?
I would. I absolutely would collect.
And then just start giving it out?
I'd put it in a safety deposit box and avoid taxes for about 11 months. And then cash it in on the day before.
The 1-1. Rip foul. And he might be in his final inning here as his pitch count is up there. He's at 97. 96? 96. So the scoreboard's 1 off. I apologize.
Pettit giving up 4 hits and 4 walks here today, including home run to Rios.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Big strikeout. Fastball up and in. As Andy works into and out of trouble. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-1 Toronto. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at the stadium, and it's 4-1 Toronto. See that shot there, David? That's a shot with a camera that's mounted right on the screen. It's called a Fletcher cam, and it gives us great pictures. So get the whole field from a different perspective. So we're really lucky to have that, and so just I'd point that out. And people wonder, well, where's that camera? That camera's right there on the screen. So we're very happy to have it.
It's like an unmanned drone, huh?
I've been called that. That one is grounded over the mound. Going to be a tough play. Scudero fields, fires. Got it. One away.
A-Rod gets a changeup, pounds it down into the ground. Scudero gliding in, all in one motion. Excellent defender. Scudero's always been known for his glove. A-Rod running fairly well, too, after his off day yesterday.
Pitches outside to Posada. There's a ground ball to short. And the Yankees are helping Romero stay in a little bit longer because first 2 outs are on a short amount of pitches, and he's only at 90 right now. He might be able to pitch a 7th inning if he gets through this batter fairly quickly. 90 pitches, 53 strikes.
And that has dramatically improved since the first inning. He's really getting in a groove now, getting all his pitches over and down in the zone. See, Romero can sling that ball. The ball jumps. He's sneaky quick, up to 94 with that fastball. We talked about his great changeup and a good slider.
Cano's bid for an extra base hit, spoiled by Bautista in the 4th. Now he rips foul.
Cano, one of the Yankee left-handed batters that doesn't mind facing left-handed pitchers. 320 on the year. Robinson Cano versus lefties.
Foul back to the screen. Yankees' only run came from their newest player, Eric Hinske. And Kevin Long was working with him the first day that Eric came over from the Pirates. And he hit one off the screen in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. So 1-2-3 inning for Ricky Romero, and he did it on just 9 pitches. Let's take this baby to the 7th. 4-1 Toronto. Well, it's break time. Time for a fresh brewed cup of coffee. Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. WB Mason. Who but? Well, they keep Andy Pettit in there with a pitch count of 97, and he deals with John McDonald, and the pitch is outside, 1-0. And the count 2-0. A brisk business today, especially if you're selling something cold. That's not cold, that's Cracker Jack. You Cracker Jack guy, David?
Loved Cracker Jacks growing up, absolutely. I can't remember the last time I had some.
Let's get some up here for you.
You're good.
You're David Cole.
Throw them up.
Count 3-1. 100 pitches for Andy, 53 strikes. And McDonald trying to work his way on any way he can in the count 3-2. Brian Bruni throwing in the Yankee pen. Driven deep to left field. Going back, Cabrera, turning, looking, see ya. Solo home run. John McDonald. And the Blue Jays now lead 5-1. McDonald's first home run of the year.
See Andy Pettit on a 3-2 pitch. Wants to get a strike. Challenges McDonald. McDonald wins. And no doubter. Melky Cabrera could only turn and watch.
Fan got a catch, and then he said, well, I don't want this. Lefty out there. The 1-0. And a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, that's the last thing you think about. If you're Andy Pettit in the 7th inning, a 3-2 count, you definitely don't want to walk McDonald. You get a pitch a little bit up, and McDonald launches it on you.
McDonald's always hurt the Yankees. Came into this game a 300 lifetime batting average against the Yankees. McDonald, his dad, a Yankee fan from East Lyme, Connecticut. So obviously when he's here playing against Yankees, a lot of family and friends, and he reacts well to that rather than putting more pressure on him.
You know, McDonald's never complained. You know, even when he lost his everyday job a couple years back in Toronto after playing very well, never really complained. Outstanding defensive player as well.
He's got a huge fan in that dugout, and bench coach Brian Butterfield has always talked up McDonald, and when McDonald got the starting job, he was so proud because they work so much together. Scudero walks against Pettit. And there's Brian Butterfield. Hey, stick around after the postgame for the WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show as the Yankees wrap up this series, and Joe's going to talk about this homestand and also preview the upcoming road trip. It's the Joe Girardi Show today after the postgame, and an all-new one Sunday at 7:30. Only on Yes. So after a great start against Seattle, Andy did pitch poorly today. Made a couple of mistakes, and he will depart as Tony Pena will call to the bullpen and get Brian Bruni. It'll be Bruni against Hill as the Yankees are trailing 5-1. Stay where you are. Well, acting manager Tony Pena makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. So Andy threw 109 pitches. He is done. And now they go to Brian Bruni. And they're still trying to work the rust off of Bruni. His numbers are good. 16 strikeouts and 14 and 2/3 innings, but he's made 2 trips to the DL with a bad elbow. Still not that sharp. That's a good fastball. I asked Joe Girardi the other day, David, how do you know that it's rust and he's not hurt? He said, because I sat him down, looked him in the eye, and said, listen, you got to tell me the truth on this. We got to get you right if you're not physically healthy. And he said, I feel great. So Joe says, I believe him. I looked him in the eye when I asked him, and I think it's just rust.
Certainly understandable with what he's been through this year. Worked very hard to get back out there. He needs time, though. He's a big part of that bullpen, but he needs a little protection now. Anytime you've got a guy whose elbow's flared up on him, you want to be careful, especially an 8th inning guy or an everyday type reliever. You want to give him a little protection, work him into games like this, and let him get comfortable with him.
Here's the scary part. Since returning up the DL, 5 and 2/3 innings, 6 hits. Okay, a hit per inning. You'd like it to be less. 3 runs, but 6 walks. So that tells you that the command is not there. So if he's walking 6, then some of the strikes he happens to be throwing might not be good strikes either. And he struck out just 3. And now he struck out 4 as he goes up the ladder, and Hill swings through. 1 down. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Here's Vernon Wells. Vernon is 1 for 3. And there's a strike.
Brian Bruni, obviously a power pitcher. We've seen him up in the mid-90s, 95, 96 when he's healthy and right. Hard slider there, kind of a cutter action to it in the upper 80s. That's usually the telltale sign, Michael, when you've got an elbow problem and you throw a slider as hard as Brian Bruni does, when you lose command of that pitch, that's the telltale sign that you're not quite strong yet. And Bruni has shown when he's right, he's got a power slider.
Driven out to left field. And that ball is off the wall, off the base of the wall. Moving to third is Scudero, and stopping at second with a double, Vernon Wells. So he gave that a ride into the gap in left center field.
Well, after 2 straight sliders, goes with the fastball. It's supposed to be over here. It ends up obviously over there. Pretty straight up. Vernon Wells thought he got it. He hit it well. Short hops the wall, or off the lower base of the wall, right to Gardner. Certainly know that feeling, Michael. That's the snap of the head around to track the flight of a mashed ball.
Yankees bring the infield in for a roll and trying to cut off the run. They're already down by 4. Now, David, when a pitcher hurts his arm, either his shoulder or his elbow, is the problem when you come back is that you're just afraid? That you think that next pitch that something bad's going to happen?
Part of it could be psychological, about in terms of feeling free to cut it loose and really test it. Another part is it's just strength. You do have some atrophy when you're on the DL, even though you're doing all kinds of strengthening exercises in rehab. There's no simulation for throwing a baseball. You've got to get out there, you've got to test it, you've got to really extend, especially on those sliders and those power 4-seamers that he throws. Sometimes it's range of motion as well. Range of motion both in your elbow and your shoulder joint. Sometimes you lose a little range of motion with an injury. It takes you a while to get it back. And without full range of motion, you're not going to have full velocity or full command.
The 2-1. Fouled away.
And the only way to get it back, Michael, is just to run him out there. And keep working with him, because Bruni's a very valuable member of that bullpen, and they need to get him right, because he can be a lockdown guy in late innings.
And as Bruni's rust, which is pretty much said to the Yankees, there's no way that we can even consider Phil Hughes to start on Thursday. He's too important out there right now. The 2-2. Foul back. This could be Roland's last shot at extending his hitting streak. He has a 22-game streak. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Now, Posada goes out and talks with Bruni. There's Phil Hughes. Sitting next to Brett Tomko. David Robertson warming.
Bruni showing his old velocity there, up to 95 miles an hour. First one he's got up to that level today so far. Seventh pitch of this at bat against Scott Rowland coming up. Down 5-1. Obviously, the Yankee infield all the way in on the grass. Tough chance, though, with Bruni being more of a fly ball pitcher and a four-seam guy.
Looking for a strikeout for sure. The 3-2. And that one is driven out into left center field. That's going to be trouble. It's going to split the outfielders and clear the bases. So Rowland gets a 2-run double. He now has a 23-game hitting streak. And the Blue Jays now have a 7-1 lead over the Yankees. And for Rowland, a career-long hitting streak of 23 straight.
See where Bruni goes to the slider and leaves it up, belt high. Scott Rowland, his eyes light up, and his hitting streak goes on as he drills a double in the gap and also collects a couple of RBIs on the way.
Longest Blue Jay hitting streak in their organization's history back in '99. Sean Green, 28 straight. So Rowland 5 away from tying that. Pitch upstairs.
See, so far this inning, Bruni has shown better velocity, although his command is not quite there. But really, that slider, of all the sliders he's thrown this inning, around 85, 86 miles an hour, have all been up and in the middle.
Grounded to Alex Rodriguez of the bat of Rios. And a nice backhanded scoop by Swisher for the second out.
Good scoop by Swisher. Dave Island on the horn. Tony Pena on the step. There's the other end of the horn. Bullpen coach Mike Harkey.
And the pitch to Millar is a strike. And the Yankees on the brink of encountering too much of a deficit. They have a great offense, but they only have 9 more outs to try to make up what is now a 6-run deficit. Pitch outside.
Andy Pettitte going to finish with 6 earned runs today now.
It didn't seem like he pitched that poorly.
didn't. You know, he had a little bit of everything. The big home run to Rios was a big blow, the 3-run shot. But Andy did have 4 walks. He really did. He's trying to be more efficient. He came out and threw a bunch of fastballs in the first couple of innings. I think I had him almost 15 to 20 straight fastballs to start out this game. He started to mix it up a little better late. But before you know it, you're sitting on the bench, your head's down, you're trying to figure out what the heck happened to me, and you got 6 innings and 6 earned runs on the board with 5 walks on the day.
And Andy continues that trend of good start, bad start, good start, bad start. As Kevin Millar walks. And you know, you don't have to be an expert. You can see Brian Bruney's just not right. I'm not saying health-wise, but that's not Brian Bruney. Brian Bruney goes out there, rears back, throws a blistering fastball, a biting slider. We're not seeing it, doesn't have command. The Yankees know it, and I think that Joe Girardi made a prudent move, saying, listen, you're still our 8th inning guy, but not yet. Not until you get back to what you were. So Tony Pena will go to David Robertson and try to hold it right here at 7-1. Computer world. And by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. David Robertson takes over. Good numbers for him. 27 strikeouts in 19 innings. David, check this out. This is the difference between the Bruni that we just saw and the one that pitched before his injury. The last 8 games before the injury, 7 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 12 strikeouts, no walks. It's a completely different pitcher right now.
Yeah, he's working his way back. You can see he's not all the way back, and especially on some of the sliders he threw today, it looked like he was cutting them off just a bit, didn't quite get him in the location he was looking for. The velocity was up a little better today as opposed to his previous outings.
Fastball swung on a miss by Bautista.
But obviously, as you said, Michael, his overall command is not there. And a tight little slider that he features, too, is not quite sharp as of yet.
Good pitch by Robertson, count 0-2.
You know, Michael, the thing I look at is body language, because I pitched hurt a lot late in my career, so I know the feeling of trying to pitch with pain. When you throw a pitch, it's almost like a worried look on his face a little bit. You know, like he's pushing to get back. He's a big part of that bullpen. The Yankees need him. And his body language, to me, seemed to say, speaking from experience, that I'm not quite feeling it. I'm a little worried, you know. Throw a slider and it'd be up in the middle of the plate, and you kind of walk around the mound and think about it. You know, I had that same body language when my arm hurt me. I'm not saying Brian Bruney's hurt, but he's obviously working his way back from an injury. You can tell he's a little worried about it.
And when you are hurt, there's always the fear of really being hurt, blowing it out. Breaking ball, strike 3, froze Bautista. And that's why he has well more than 1 strikeout per inning when he has that curveball working. But a big inning for the Blue Jays. They score 3 more runs on 1, 2, 3 hits, and they strand 2. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. The Blue Jays lead the Yankees 7-1, but we stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
We remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Now please join Kate Smith as she sings God Bless America.
Well, thank you, Bob. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Yankees have dug themselves a little bit of a hole here. They're down 7-1. You see what Ricky Romero has done by inning. And the 4th and the 6th certainly have kept him in this ballgame. Just 95 pitches. Cito Gaston talking out to the bullpen. They'll get somebody up. The bottom third of the order against the young left-hander. And there is a breaking ball strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Cabrera's 0 for 2. And there was a strike. And the pitch. Foul back. Yankees come into action today. A game behind the Red Sox. Right back up the middle. It knocks down Romero. McDonald goes to the ground, and the ball goes into center field with a base hit. Well, with Eric Hinske coming up, it's a perfect time, David, to look at the Land Rover drive of the game.
Eric Hinske making his debut in the Bronx, and nice start. Gets a slider on the inner half and drills it up the foul pole. His first home run as a Yankee. Second one on the year. He had one with Pittsburgh. Eric Hinske, the Land Rover drive of the game.
Well, the Yankees need some quick lightning here to make the Blue Jays think, and to think they're back in the game. They're down 7-1. And A strike to Hinske.
Well, Romero retaining his stuff, though. His 100th pitch was 93 miles an hour on the black at the knees.
We mentioned he comes from the 2005 Major League Draft. And if you get a chance and you're near a computer sometime in the next couple of days, Brandon League warms up, take a look at the players that came out of that draft in the first round. There's some really good big league ball players. Line drive, base hit to right field off the bat of Hinske as Cabrera moves to second. Hinske's 2 for 3 in his first Yankee game. Now, if you don't have a computer, we're very helpful. Picks 1 through 9 in that 05 draft. You've got Upton, really good player. Gordon, really good player. Clemente struggled. Zimmerman, outstanding. Braun, outstanding. Romero, well, you see what he's done. Tulowitzki, Townsend, and Pelfrey. That's a rare bad pick for Tampa Bay. We haven't really seen Townsend. But that's a fruitful draft right there.
Well, it is, and the draft is much more sophisticated than when I was drafted, Michael. I wasn't even scouted across the nation. I went to a couple tryout camps back in 1981. Nowadays, much more information, much more eyeballs that can get out and see a prospect across the country or the world for that matter. The draft's such an important equalizer for Major League Baseball as the last place teams draft first, and it's supposed to be the biggest asset in terms of parity.
There's Brett Gardner. Grounded to second. They're going to call him out. But you really have to wonder if he was even on that bag. And Tony Pena doesn't think he was. And he's going to jog out and have a conversation with Wally Bell. And we'll take a look. But it did look from the naked eye as if he was on the bag. It wasn't close. I mean, the umpires are just having a dreadful day. It wasn't close. I mean, there's a neighborhood play, and then there's that. And those are 3 separate instances where the umpires have gotten calls blatantly wrong.
Yeah, and Hinske gives up, and here's the tip-off right here. Scudero knows it. He's going back to tag Hinske, but then he sees Wally Bell go ahead and make the call, so he stops.
Now, I don't know if Bell's call, he didn't specify, was that Hinske went out of the line. Now, if he did, then Gardner could have been out as well. But really, bottom line, the umpires have missed 3 calls on the Yankees today. So Gardner's at first on the fielder's choice. Cabrera moves to third. Jeter is 0 for 2. He has an 11-game hitting streak on the line.
You're right, Michael Scudero was the tip-off there because he was going back to tag Hinske, who was buried in the ground after he had slid. So Scudero still had time to go back and make the tag, even though, as we saw, he was not on the bag when the throw came there.
Now, I wonder, though, David, did Hinske have time to reach out and grab the bag? I mean, yeah, Scudero could have tried to make the tag. Hinske, if he didn't think that he was out or didn't hear the out call, he could have scrambled back to the bag as well.
Yeah, they both were scrambling. Scudero was trying to get back to tag him, and Hinske was trying to scramble to second base, but Wally Bell had already made the call.
Count 3-0. One pitch away from loading the bases as the Yankees would try to come back from down 7-1. Cito Gaston starting to pace. This team's trying to at least salvage 1 game of the 4. And he walks him on 4 pitches. You can see the kid is tiring. That was his 107th pitch. And probably his last one. As Gaston quickly out to the mound. So he signals to the bullpen. Brandon League's going to come in. League against Swisher when we get back. You come on back. 58772. Today's candidates are number 1, Alex Rios, number 2, Scott Rowland, number 3, Eric Hinske, number 4, Ricky Romero. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rate supply. Those are all choices on the Blue Jays, but if the Yankees have a rally in their bones, well, there's going to be a little bit of a difference now. Eric Hinske, of course, is on the Yankees, and he had that home run and also a single. Ricky Romero now a spectator, and he will watch and hope that the bullpen could bail him out of this bases-loaded one-out jam. Those are the numbers on League.
Brandon League, hard thrower. 34 strikeouts in 38 and a third innings. Gonna flip Swisher around and let him bat left-handed here at Yankee Stadium for the first time today. 2 for 2 batting right-handed.
And a walk. Big moment in the game. The Yankees can make their run now. Creep closer, and then you get deeper into the bullpen. League has pitched the past 2 days, 2 innings, 2 hits. Hot shot up the middle. A base hit for Swisher. Scoring is Cabrera. Here comes Gardner. He'll score. It's a big 2-run single for Swisher, and it's 7-3 Toronto.
Well, this is the thing that makes Swisher so dangerous. We know he gets deep counts. We know he can walk. But when he gets aggressive on that first pitch up and out over the plate, that's when you can keep pitchers honest. The Swisher's got a reputation for having a really good eye, but when he gets aggressive, jumps on a first pitch fastball, drills it up the middle, makes it double trouble for pitchers in terms of how they're going to approach attacking Nick Swisher.
Here's Mark Teixeira. He's 0 for 3. He has not had a home run in 82 at bats. So do you believe in due? First and second, 1 out. And there's a strike. So Swisher with 3 hits today, his second 3-hit game of the year. Yankees lead the major leagues with 25 come from behind victories. Pulled the string on that one, the count 0-2. League has nasty stuff. Throws in the upper 90s. The whole deal is throwing strikes and throwing those pitches in the right place.
Good changeup as you see Ricky Romero, the young lefty, who had a good day so far. A couple earned runs now added on to his total.
Oh, could not hold up. That ball dived down and in on Teixeira, so he's 0 for 4. 2 away.
The League against Teixeira. First pitch, right at the knees. Good changeup, 0-2. Look, that's got splitter action to it. That thing dropped off the table. Another good 0-2 pitch to a great fastball hitter with Mark Teixeira.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. First and second, now 2 outs. Alex is 1 for 2 and was hit by a pitch. Breaking ball. The way he throws his fastball, if he gets that pitch over, then it's game over because he's that good. But the whole idea, can he get that breaking ball over consistently?
Great action, late downward movement on that pitch.
.96. A-Rod 3 for 10 lifetime against League. Nothing out of the park. Swing and a miss. So League gives up the 2-run single of Swisher, which gets the Yankees in. But then he strikes out Teixeira and Rodriguez with nasty stuff diving down. That's another splitter. And Romero likes it as we go to the 8th. Well, after the final out of today's game against Toronto, join Bob Lorenz and Kimberly Jones for the W.B. Mason postgame. Get a complete wrap-up of this series against the Blue Jays, and you get a look around the rest of the majors as well. It's the W.B. Mason postgame, and it's only the best. Yankee fan, deep in thought, wondering what happened to Teixeira and A-Rod. So's Tony Pena. Cito Gaston pleased with the way the inning ended. Although League did give up a big 2-run single to Swisher, and the Yankees are only down 4 as we go to the 8th inning. It's 7-3. Yankees have out-hit the Blue Jays, but the Blue Jays have gotten bigger hits.
Boy, that 3 spot that Toronto dropped on the Yankees last inning at the top of the 7th, looming large right now.
Yeah. Count 1-1 to Barajas.
You get that feeling, Michael, and we made the point yesterday. There are no mop-up innings in this Yankee bullpen because this team is never out of the game.
Well, you know, you're right, David. It's not as if you could say, all right, go in and get some work. When you give up runs, not a big deal. All runs are a big deal because this team could score any time. And in this ballpark, even more so.
David Robertson's been very impressive since his recall from AAA. Got strikeout stuff, good curveball, just a little better command. When he locates that fastball and that curveball and gets it down, he's double trouble.
That one is Luke Jeter. 1 away. Well, fans, celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium on Friday, July 17th, when the Yankees take on the Tigers. The first 18,000 fans in attendance are going to receive a Yankees travel mug, courtesy of Carvel. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. You can visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or just call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. And there's a strike.
David Robertson been especially effective at home, Michael. In 37 at-bats, opposing hitters are hitting a $135 off of him here at Yankee Stadium. As scouts say, as you see Jeremy Accardo warming up, as scouts say, you know, with David Robertson and that curveball he's got, it's a plus curveball, above average when he gets on top of it and gets it down. Plus meaning above average. He's got above average action on his curveball when he's right. It's a strikeout type pitch. Let's see if he goes to it here.
Strike 3. Robertson, when he has command, as David mentioned, he's a lights out pitcher. He's got that good of stuff.
Well, instead of the curve, let's go ahead and try a little 93-mile-an-hour 4-seam cut fastball at the black on the knees. Hit that glove, get the call. Oh, that's tough to see. Maybe the front right edge of that corner. Good pitch.
Pitch to Scudero as well. Strike. Count 1-1. And the way Joe Girardi has run this bullpen, it is a meritocracy. If David Robertson starts to deal consistently, he's going to move up to more important innings.
No question about Robertson's future. He is definitely a reliever. He pitches from the stretch, predominantly a two-pitch pitcher, as we noted. He's been groomed to be a reliever.
Looped into right field, and Eric Hinske is there, makes the play, and David Robertson works a 1-2-3 eighth inning. We go to the bottom of the eighth as the Yankees will try to continue to play catch-up at 7-3 Jays. Of history from the original Yankee Stadium. Seats and other memorabilia now on sale at Yankees.com. All items come with a Yankee Steiner letter of authenticity. For more information and to purchase original Yankee Stadium seats and other collectibles, visit Yankees.com today and click the Shop tab. Jeremy Accardo will take over for the pitcher, Brandon League, and Accardo will enter his 9th game. And the first batter he faces is going to be Jorge Posada, and Posada 3 for 4 with 2 home runs against Accardo. Posada is 0 for 2. Oh, check that, 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts.
All the Yankee switch hitters now getting a shot from the left side of the plate today after facing Ricky Romero. He had a nice day pitching for the Blue Jays.
And a strike.
Well, Romero ends up 6 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 punchouts. In a position to obviously win this game as you see Abeladeo getting loose.
Seven-3 Yankees down, trying to sweep this 4-game set. A little bit of an uphill climb ahead of them. The 1-1. Hot shot at second. And McDonald makes the play. Can't hit it harder than that, nor can you guide it. So there's 1 down. Here's Robinson Cano. He is 0 for 3. The hit into double play, well, it sounds like, or reads like a ground ball. It was a great play by the left fielder, Jose Bautista. Threw it into the second baseman, McDonald, who relayed it to Millar at first to double up Alex Rodriguez. And that was a big blow in this game. Could have changed the complexion of the game. That's how good a play it was, how important it was.
quiet day on the Yankee side until the last inning. Scoreless through the first 4. Scratched a run in the bottom of the 5th and then 2 in the bottom of the 7th. But other than that, fairly quiet.
That's the skip rope. The 2-1. Jimmy deep to center field. Wells back. Still back. Still back. It's over his head. One hop up against the wall. Well, we told you throughout the series, Wells plays a shallow center. And that one he just could not backtrack quickly enough.
The first ball today, one of the Yankee hitters has been able to hit it hard right down the middle and get it over an outfielder for the Blue Jays. Talked about Bautista and left making 2 great plays. Vernon Wells cannot get to this one as Cano mashes it. Short hops to center field wall. Easy stand-up double.
Here's Melky Cabrera. And there's a strike. Accardo from the Giants came to the Blue Jays in the deal that sent the disgruntled at the time Shea Hillenbrand to San Francisco. That was when Shea Hillenbrand and former manager John Gibbons kind of got into it. And Gibbons did not want him on the team, so Ricciardi was kind of under pressure. He had to deal him. And he got a pretty good deal for a guy that they didn't want any part of. 1-1. 1-2.
The Blue Jays trying to salvage the last game of this 4-game series. And you see a lot of scouts following the Blue Jays team around this year, wondering, J.P. Ricciardi, the general manager, if he's going to be a player at the trade deadline or maybe move a couple of his pieces if they continue to fall out of this.
This comprehensive telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees, and it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees.
Roy Halladay, arguably the best pitcher in the American League, maybe all of baseball.
Hit sharply. Oh, what a grab by Millar. And he steps on the bag for the second out. Wow, that might have thwarted a rally by the Yankees. That was ticketed into the corner. And an outstanding play by Millar as Cano moves to third.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have really flashed some leather in this particular game. As you said, Michael, that's not an easy play. You get over there and you take a swipe at it and hope you can pick it on a quick hop, and Millar did. The Blue Jay pitchers have really been aided by good defensive plays all around the field by the Blue Jays. Coming into this game, the Blue Jays have fallen down to 42-41 overall for their record.
2 great plays by Bautista, an outstanding play by Roland on a Derek Jeter slow roller, and that one by Millar. They've done some job with the leather. Here's Eric Hinske, 2 for 3. Pitch inside. The 1-0. There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Hinske with his first Yankee home run, second home run of the year, one with the Pirates. First Yankee home run off the screen in right field in the 5th. And then he singled in the 7th. So he's 2 for 3. Now, Eric Hinske actually had his first career home run in 2002 against the Yankees across the street. Against Ramiro Mendoza, he went the other way. And he drops it into Monument Park. Mendoza can't believe it. And Hinske, his first big league home run.
A long way the other way. That shows you the kind of power he has. Rookie of the year in 02.
You look at the way, and that clipped him on the way by, so Hinske will take first. You look at the way his career has gone since then. He never realized the potential that he showed in that Rookie of the Year season. In fact, after that season, the Blue Jays signed him to a 5-year extension, thinking he was going to be one of the cornerstones. That must have got him on that shin guard. Just clipped him. Well, with Brett Gardner due up, the Yankees are going to go to their bench, and they'll send up Johnny Damon.
And that is why Johnny Damon with 16 home runs on the year.
Now, we showed you Damon's numbers. He's never had a season in which he had 100 RBIs. He has 49 now. His single season high, 94 for Boston in 2004, the year they won the title. He's also one away from 200 career home runs. He's a different player in this ballpark. He now becomes a legitimate power threat. He's got the perfect stroke for the way this ballpark plays. So pinch hitting for Gardner. There's strike. Johnny was telling me today, he said he's actually changed the way he swings since coming over to the Yankees. He said at Fenway and when I played for Oakland and Kansas City, I would take the ball the other way a lot. He said, but if I'm looking to hit into the short porch and right, I kind of hook the ball. And certainly it's paid off this year. Now, Johnny's never been great as a pinch hitter. 9 hits and 51 at bats. That's 176 with 1 home run. And Joe Torre, who's the former Yankee manager, used to always say the hardest thing is for an everyday player to pinch hit because they're just not used to it. And he said one of the best he's ever seen who went from being a star player to a real good pinch hitter was Chris Chambliss, former Yankee who became a pinch hitter under Torre with the Braves. Joe Torre's actually in town today, and tomorrow his Dodgers start a 3-game set at Citi Field against the Mets. I believe that Joe is having his charity golf tournament today for Safe at Home Foundation. Certainly a great endeavor. Jason Frazier, the closer, warming up. The 1-2. 2-2.
Johnny Damon fights back even in this count now after falling down 0-2. And Michael, you made note of Damon's tailor-made swing for this ballpark. And got 12 of the 16 home runs here this year hit here at this ballpark, and 13 off of right-handed pitchers.
The 2-2. Late on the swing. Takes aim at the Blue Jay dugout. Hit Damon. And that's going to load the bases. So a pinch hit by pitch. And that brings up Derek Jeter, the tying run here in the bottom of the 8th.
Just hangs on to the fastball too much. Classic case of overthrowing. Your arm gets out in front of your body. And you know, you mentioned Joe Torre's golf tournament. That's like on the first tee, snap hook in your drive. Just your arm gets out in front, you try to overthrow it, your body drags behind, you end up drilling Johnny Damon. Now you got the bases loaded.
Derek Jeter had a big home run in yesterday's game. That came in the 5th inning. That put the Yankees ahead to stay. And look at his numbers with the bases loaded. 1 grand slam with a 361 average. And Jeter's 3 for 6 lifetime against Ricardo. And you know what? Cito Gaston knows that. Cito Gaston needs to win. Cito Gaston wants to get out of town with a victory. So he's going to go to his closer. Bottom line, this is the most important part of the game for him. So it's going to be Frazier against Jeter. Stay tuned. Jeter, and you know what? You see him with 2 saves. His numbers are outstanding. David, it makes sense. If he has to get 4 outs, this is where Cito Gaston thinks the game is going to be decided. So why go with your second best? Go with your best.
Absolutely, especially as you said, bases loaded. Derek Jeter, a very clutch hitter his entire career. We said before, the Yankees just in this ballpark are never out of the game.
4 hits and 17 at bats against Frazier. Tony Pena has been managing the Yankees since the 1st inning when Joe Girardi got thrown out, arguing a call at third base. Derek Jeter inexplicably tried to steal third with nobody out. He was safe, but still it was not a great percentage move. So now Derek has a chance to atone for that with a big at bat against Frazier. Well, Jeter's hitting streak is on the line here, and the game might be on the line as well. 0 for 2 with 2 walks, but he has an 11-game hitting streak. He has 249 lifetime hits against the Blue Jays, so he's done well against them. Only Robin Yount with 263 has more against Toronto's organization. Now here's a stat that will buoy the spirits of Yankee fans. Opponents are 3 for 3 against Frazier with the bases loaded this year. Along with David Cohn, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yes Network. A rare Monday matinee. We thank you for joining us this afternoon. It's Toronto leading the Yankees 7-3. Phil Hughes and Mariano Rivera warming in the bullpen. One and one.
Boy, Rios in right field is really playing more towards the line. Leaving a lot of gap. You see Rios way over here. Leaving Derek Jeter going that way. You've got all this room. The right center field gap. If he finds that gap, he's going to clear the bases.
One. Upstairs, no place to put Jeter, and on deck is Swisher. Count 2-1. Fourth pitcher used by the Jays. Romero started. Brandon League got the final 2 outs of the 7th. Accardo started the 8th. And now Frazier comes on and goes 3-1 on Jeter. The Yankees have 25 comeback wins this year. That's the most in baseball. The Angels, the Brewers, and the Mariners have 23. Three-1. 94-mile-an-hour fastball fouled away. Now, there's a chance with Damon at first that any kind of single, a certain type of single in the gap, could clear the bases. Because they're going to be going head down, 3-2, 2 outs. Derek talking to himself up there. Having a conversation with the bat.
We've seen nothing but fastballs from Frazier in this at bat. No reason to look for anything else.
Fired up crowd. Decent speed all around on the bases. They go. And Jeter walks. That'll force it a run. And now the Yankees trail 7-4 with Swisher coming up.
Derek Jeter first switch swing, and good idea right out of the gate. Down and in. That might have been a changeup. Up and in. Fastball down. Fastball away. Jeter with a swing at it. Ball 4. Down and in. Not even close.
Now here's Swisher. Swisher is 3 for 3 with a walk. His last time up. Now Swisher takes a lot of pitches. But as David said, in order to keep pitchers honest, sometimes you have to jump on the first pitch. That's what he did to Brandon League. And he got a hot shot up the middle of drive-in 2. What does he do here? Frazier had trouble throwing strikes to Jeter. Those are his numbers with the bases loaded. He's hit 4 out with the bases loaded. He's 4 for 7 lifetime against Frazier. And the pitch. He swung at the first pitch and popped it up. Vernon Wells just avoids Rios and puts it away for the final out of the 8th. So the Yankees are creeping closer, but they are running out of time. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. Let's go to the 9th. 7-4 Jays. To take a look at the play of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance.
Well, the backbreaker for Andy Pettit was Rios getting to an inside fastball, up and over a leaping Melky Cabrera. A 3-run shot. Put the Blue Jays up 4-1 at that point. Carlos Rios. Geico play of the game. Alex Rios, rather. Alex Rios.
Jonathan Albaladeo came on yesterday, got 4 outs and got the win as the Yankees came back from an 8-4 deficit. Those are his numbers. Started the season with the Yankees. Had some ineffective moments, got sent down, was lights out at AAA, and got called up when Chin-Ming Wang got hurt. And there's a strike to Aaron Hill. It'll be Hill, Wells, and Rowland here in the ninth. Everything is interconnected when it comes to making decisions on a baseball team. Albaladeo's effectiveness could give the Yankees some peace of mind if they move Aceves into the starting role vacated by Wong. Because you just don't remove Aceves unless you have somebody to replace him. There's a ground ball at Jeter. Took a last moment bad hop one away.
That's very true, Michael, and also the diversity of style that Albaladeo can give you. He's kind of a true sinker baller, two-seamer, sinker slider guy. Phil Hughes more of a power guy, and since his transition to the bullpen. Albaladeo is really the only Yankee reliever that can feature that type of look.
Pitch to Wells is inside. Shattered bat. Bat and ball go to Jeter. And not in time. Jeter could not charge as quickly as he normally does because the barrel of the bat was headed his way.
Good pitch by Albaladeo. Saw job right in half. Here comes the barrel and the ball. Looks safe to me.
He was. Albaladeo threw 32 pitches yesterday. There's Scott Rowland. And there's a strike.
A big double, as it turns out, by Scott Rowland. Continue his hitting streak. Scott Rowland now carrying a 23-game hitting streak.
After that big 2-run double in the 7th. That 7th inning, as David mentioned, was so large. It's the difference in the game right now.
Brian Bruni's final line on the day in relief of Andy Pettit. 2/3 of an innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, although he did allow one of Andy's runs to score. So Andy finishes with 6 earned runs on the day. 6 innings pitched. David Robertson 1 1/3 is scoreless with a couple of strikeouts.
Count 3-1. One on first with 1 out. Rolling 1 for 3 at the walk. Has great numbers, but just 32 runs batted in. Moved up in the lineup of late. Runner goes. High fly ball. foul down the left field line. After the game, the Yankees will head to Minnesota. They'll play a 3-game set tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and Thursday afternoon. Then on to the West Coast to play 3 against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Game tomorrow starts at 8, and you can see it on My 9. CC Sabathia will get the start for the Yanks. Warner goes again. The 3-2 is grounded foul. You wonder, well, where are the Yankees going after that? Well, after L.A., it's a 4-game All-Star break, a 4-day All-Star break, and then another long homestand. 10 games. 3 against the Tigers now Saturday, or Sunday the 19th is Old Timers Day, by the way. Then 3 against the Orioles and 4 against the Oakland Athletics. And we'll start our coverage at 11:30 on Old Timers. I know that's planning way ahead, but write it down. You know, keep it somewhere so you remember. Runner will go again from first. 3-2. Driven out right field line. Giving chase is Hinske, but a 1 out of rule. Are you going to take part in Old Timers Day?
I am going to be here. Absolutely. That whole weekend's a big weekend.
So you'll get a chance to be on that mound finally, the new mound.
I'm going to be on that mound, and Old Timers Day is on the 19th, and July the 18th is a pretty good day, too, on that Saturday.
That's the anniversary of your no-hitter. Perfect game.
Excuse me?
Perfect game. I'm sorry. Perfect. Perfect. 27 up, 27 down. Baseball immortality in the Bronx.
You only get one chance to celebrate a 10-year anniversary.
Runner goes. Grounded foul. You know, that was a perfect day for me, too. Got a chance to call the game with John Sterling on the radio side. Then, boom, after the game, right out to the Meadowlands, see Bruce Springsteen perform at Giant Stadium. Just a perfect day.
That is a pretty good finish. That's a big finish right there.
You had a little bit of a different finish than I did.
My finish came well after that game.
That was Yogi Berra Day at the stadium. And I got to MC that. That's what even made it more special. Years ago. Wow. Runner goes again. That one's popped up. Jeter will make the play for the 7 out. Well, let's look back, David. Let's make you get goosebumps. Popped up. Now you want to make sure that Brocious knows where it is. You point it right up there. Now, do you ever tire of seeing it?
No, thanks, guys. Appreciate that. I'm glad I brought that up.
Pitch outside from Albaladeo to Rios.
The best part about doing something like that at Yankee Stadium, whether if you're a hitter, you hit for the cycle or game-winning home run or whatever special moment you have, is that Yankee fans don't let you forget. Still get comments about it from diehard Yankee fans, where they were, what they were doing.
That was one of those rare accomplishments. So because with the media, I mean, you're supposed to be objective, but you're a human being, and there are certain players that you like and certain players that you don't like. And very few players are unanimously liked. And you could see when you looked in the press box that day that people were pulling for David Cone, because everybody liked David Cone. He helped us do our jobs, and to see him do that, that was a fun thing for everybody involved. There are other people that might be flirting with immortality that you secretly would root against. Nobody was doing that against you.
No cheering in the press box, Michael.
There was no overt cheering, but inside I think people felt good. Even the most crusty veteran writers were pulling for you. As Vernon Wells dies back. If you look ahead to the bottom of the 9th, and you should, you got the heart of the order coming up as the Yankees will try to rally. You've got Teixeira, Rodriguez, and Posada. If anybody gets on, it'll be Cano. but Alvaladeo wants to stop right here at 7-4 with a runner on first and 2 outs. And Alex Rios, who has certainly hurt this team at the plate. Boy, Wells is getting in his running. He won 4 times with Rowland at the plate.
It's interesting, Michael. Wells and Rios were the ones that were really struggling coming into this series. Almost Cito Gaston had to rearrange his batting order. Wells back in the 3-hole today, 3 for 5.
Nice job by Alvaladeo in this inning. So he holds the Blue Jays at 7-4. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Last licks coming up. They have to score 3 to tie it. By David Cohn. Brush up on your skills with tips from pitching coach Dave Island and see Johnny Damon's awesome car collection. It's an all-new Yankees on Deck Sunday morning at 11, only on Yes. There's Letterman, there's Leno, and then there's Cohn.
I'm moving up. I'm coming after you, Kay.
Bring it. And Conan, too. We have to throw Conan in. Little Yankee top hat as we move to the bottom of the 9th inning.
That was a good-looking hat.
Lyle Overbay takes over at first base. Mark Teixeira takes a strike from Frazier. They have the shift on for Teixeira. You see Overbay there, and he's got company on that right side. McDonald is in short right field. Scudero, the shortstop, is playing where the second baseman would play. And that's Rowland, the third baseman, almost behind second. Popped up. Bautista with a long run. And it's in the seats in that play.
Kind of been that day for Mark Teixeira today. Finds himself again down 0-2. 0 for 4 today. Fly out. Couple of strikeouts.
The 0-2. Right into the teeth of the shift. So it worked perfectly. And Teixeira has a rough 0 for 5. On the homestand, 7 for 29. Now let's put into perspective what the Yankees have done of late, though. In order to win a pennant, you have to win series. And the Yankees have done that. After Joe Girardi got tossed down in Atlanta, they won 2 out of 3. They went to Citi Field, they won 3 in a row, so they won that series. They took 2 out of 3 from Seattle here. They took that series. Now this is a 4-game set. These are hard to win. And even if the Yankees don't win this, they took 3 out of 4 from Toronto. They are on a nice run right now as they head out on a road trip to close out the first half of the season. Pitch to A-Rod is low and away.
Yeah, Michael, it seems like it was just about 8-9 days ago when the Yankees were matching up against the Mets, and they were 8 games over 500 going the wrong way. The Red Sox were heading north. Looked like they were going to get to 20 games over 500. In a matter of 8 or 9 days, the Yankees have closed the gap dramatically on the Red Sox.
Look at the numbers against the Blue Jays. Close with 5 for 11. Well, they've closed it to the point that they entered today just 1 game back. And they open up some distance between themselves and the Blue Jays. There's a 7-game difference entering today and a 5-game difference against Tampa Bay. Alex pops it up. Sky-high pop-up. Vernon Wells. Yankees are down to their final out. Here's Posada as he tries to keep the Yankee hopes alive here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 7-game homestand. It's either going to finish up 5-2 for the Yankees or 6-1. And it's still alive as Posada lines one into right center field, and a 2-out single brings up Cano.
Posada has been getting a lot of good swings. A little bit off the end of the bat. Muscles it. Over the second baseman's head. Heading for the gap. Cut off. Posada got that just a little off the end of the bat. Else that would have got to the wall and been a sure double.
Right now you have to keep the line moving. Cano at the plate, and Matsui comes out on deck. He would pinch hit for Melky Cabrera. And Hideki's been red hot here on this homestand. Pitch outside. Count 1-1 on Cano. Robinson 1 for 4 on this homestand, 9 for 25. He has the average of 301. Doubled his last time up. In the 9th inning this year, Cano is 13 for 34. That's 382. High fly ball, right side. And that'll make the seats.
Yankees still alive here. See Teixeira. A tough day for him. Seems like the Blue Jay pitchers were 0-2 on him just about every at bat. Didn't get a lot of good pitches to hit, but Yankees trying to stay alive here. They played well at home, as you said, Michael, including on this homestand. A lot of drama. 26-15 currently home record here at Yankee Stadium. 4 games over 500 on the road as well, where they'll be heading after this game to Minnesota.
The 1-2. Scoop the other way. Coming on. Bautista dives. He can't make the play. Posada will go to third. Cano is at second. The Yankees are still alive here in the bottom of the 9th.
Indeed they are, Michael. And the reason why, Robinson Cano, right on that pitch down the middle, designed to come inside and tie him up. Doesn't get it in there. Robinson fights it off. The only ball that Bautista hasn't caught today and robbed the Yankees. He almost ended this game with another great play. Just beyond his diving. Almost off the glove, too, Michael.
Well, that's going to bring up Matsui. Pinch hitting for Cabrera. Matsui 5 for 10 with a home run lifetime against Jason Frazier. So all with 2 outs. A single by Posada, a double by Cano, and the Yankees bring the tying run to the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning. So not much more you could ask for if you're the Yankees. You got a chance. Pitch outside. Now, if Matsui gets on, then it moves on to Eric Hinske, the newest Yankee. You see what Matsui's done pinch hitting. 5 for 21. And that's all he did on that 9-game road trip to National League cities. He just pinch hit. The 1-0. A strike. 1-1.
Matsui obviously got one thing in mind right here while he's still in this count. Obviously, once you get to 2 strikes, you protect a little more, but he's looking for something he could drive out of this ballpark and tie this game up.
Overbay deep at first and close to the line. He's trying to tie it up right there. Now, the reason Overbay is where he is, they'll give up a single and make it 7-6. But under no circumstance do they want a ball hit into the corner, whereby the tying run would go into scoring position. So there's going to be nothing that's going to be able to get between Overbay and the first base line. Now Barajas goes out and tosses with Frazier. Last 4 games, Matsui's had 3 home runs and 8 runs batted in. So those are the first 3 games against the Blue Jays and against the Mariners. Crowd of 46,450 here at the stadium. And the 1-2 outside.
Frazier taking a shot with a changeup. Thrown predominantly fastballs. The second pitch is that changeup, especially against lefties.
Matsui pinch hitting for Melky Cabrera. The 2-2. Looped into center field. Is that going to dunk? And a dunk in front of Wells. 2 runs will score. A pinch hit 2-run single for Matsui. And the Yankees have pulled to within 1. We talked about no doubles defense, David. That's why that was a hit, because Wells was playing against the wall practically.
Possibly right. Another changeup from Frazier, and a good one down and away with movement. Matsui's got to go way out to cover that pitch and does a great job putting it in play. And here's what you're talking about, Michael. With the deep center field play, the blue falls in front and 2-run score. But a nice piece of hitting on a good pitch by Hideki Matsui.
Cody Ransom will pinch run for Matsui. That's the tying run. Cito Gaston sweating this one out. And that'll bring up Eric Hinske. What a moment for the newest Yankee. He's had a good day in his first Yankee appearance. 2 for 3 hit by a pitch. Also had his first home run. They are deep in the outfield again. They don't want anything into the gaps where Ransom can score. 7-6 Jays. Yankees trying to pull this one out. All with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Frazier taking too much time. Hinske steps out.
The Blue Jays furiously trying to get a lefty warmed up in the bullpen, too. This inning has unfolded so fast. Carlson warming up in a hurry.
And the reason for that is that you've got Johnny Damon on deck. 25 come from behind victories for the Yankees, 8 walk-off victories for the Yankees. If they win this one, it will definitely be a walk-off. Ransom with good speed at first. Frazier steps off and check him back. Yankees with some late inning thunder. 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and 2 here in the 9th. They have 12 hits to the Blue Jays 8. The pitch, way outside.
If you're Eric Hinske right here and you're watching this unfold with Frazier, he just gave up a hit to Matsui on the changeup. There was another changeup up and away, not anywhere close. We're going to dial in on fastball.
They are waiting in the Great Hall for a great moment. Will they get one from Hinske in his first game as a Yankee? Hinske came over from the Pirates as the Yankees try to add some power to their bench. Someone to spell Alex Rodriguez at third base, play the outfield positions on the corners, and play first base as well to give Teixeira a rare day off or maybe DH it. Today, he started it right. Would the Yankees have the guts to send Ransom and end the game on a stolen base attempt? A very, very tough call. You don't want to take the bat out of Hinske's hands.
Hinske's had a nice day. He's got a 1-1 count. Looking for a fastball.
1-1. He gets the fastball, but it's low, 2-1. And Frazier, you can see, starting to wilt just a little bit.
Frazier was asked to come in last inning, obviously, to get out of the 8th inning. Now here in the 9th, finds himself trying to find that last out of the 9th, becoming very, very much more difficult now with a 2-1 count on Hinske.
The 2-1. 3-1. And on deck is Johnny Damon. Damon pinch hit in the 8th inning and got hit by a pitch. That was from Jeremy Accardo. By now, Jesse Paulson is ready. Hinske's locked in. Frazier gets the sign and the pitch. Check swing and he fouls it off. Now that gives the Yankees a little bit of an advantage. Why? Because on 3-2 and 2 outs, now Ransom will be going.
Probably swings a ball 4 as he knows it, tries to check and hold up.
Well, you know he's got to have adrenaline pumping to him right now. First Yankee game, obviously pumped up, wanting to do something big, playing against his former team. Won a Rookie of the Year here in 2002. First part of the season with the Pirates where none of the games seem important. This one, every game, the big stage, playing Broadway, the bright lights. No lights bigger than this moment right here, bottom of the 9th inning. 3-2 count, 2 outs. Yankees down by 1. Runner goes. Swung and a miss. He struck him out. And Hinske goes down swinging to end the game. So Frazier flirted with disaster for the Blue Jays, and he strikes out Hinske to end this as the Blue Jays win this one 7-6 and salvage the final game of this 4-game set.
It goes with a 3-2 slider up and away, and Hinske once again a little fooled by it. Might have been ball 4 as well, though this one's a little too close to take, but boy, up and away. I doubt if you get rung up on this pitch, but Hinske trying to be aggressive, gets a high slider a little out in front of it.
Boy, David, high sliders are the types that usually end up in the seats. That was a little cement mixer slider. Didn't have the dive to it, but the change of speed got him as he swings